Before you can claim your listing, you've first got to find your listing somewhere within the Googleverse. And so that's what we're going to start with, is just how to find your listing in the first place. Just so you have a little bit of context, let's talk about how business listings get into Google My Business in the first place. The least common way is that an owner like yourself would submit the business to Google My Business. Now, typically that's only going to be needed for brand new businesses, and we will cover that step. But most likely Google will have already found information about a business through their crawlers, their automated programs that are constantly browsing across the entire internet looking for mentions of a business. And when they pick up on what appears to be a business mention, then their artificial intelligence, if you want to call it that, creates a listing within their database. Google also imports business listings from partners that collect their own business listings. So that would be things like the online yellow pages and data aggregators. I'm going to show you a rather confusing diagram. Now this is an obsolete diagram, but I think it's still really good in showing kind of the complexity of the local terrain. So here we're taking a look at basically a chart of showing how information about businesses gets into Google Local. If you see over here where I'm pointing with my mouse, Info Group, and then up you see Axiom, Newstar. Those are all data aggregators. They basically will pull data from tens, dozens, hundreds of different sources, put them all together, package them up, and then sell them to people that need data. Google is one of those, of course. In addition to those aggregators, you'll see a lot of these things like DEX. Down here you can see Yext. Over here is Yellowbot. You can see Facebook, Foursquare, Yelp, even Twitter, Yellow Pages, Super Pages. So lots of different directories here. And Google is crawling all over those directories looking for business mentions. So it's almost impossible to know exactly where your business information came from. But you know here that pretty much if your business has any sort of a mention in any sort of directory or aggregate listing, Google's going to pick up on it and it's going to add you to their database. So let's start by seeing if you have a listing you don't know about. Now notice I'm here in the searcher view, not in the admin view for Google My Business. And in this case, I've gone to maps.google.com. You can also go to google.com/maps. Either one will get you to the same place. Best starting point is to just search on your business name followed by your city. So in this case, you'll see I've searched on Horizon Web Marketing Las Vegas. And Google will bring up a listing down here. It does seem to realize it is a business listing because it's showing reviews. It's going down here. It's showing a particular address, phone number, even gets hours of being open. So this is a pretty easy search. It was easy to find our business. Sometimes it's hard though. What if you search and you don't see anything for your business? Well, your next step is to try searching on your address. So in this case, I've searched on the address, and this is our old address for Horizon Web Marketing, 8683 West Sahara, number 230 in Las Vegas. The push pin will show you that Google has found the address. But then if you look over here on the panel of businesses, you'll notice that Google, it's not as complete, but it'll show, okay, we do show that there is a business here at this address called Horizon Web Marketing. And then you can click on that and it'll bring up the business listing that Google has. That's a way to kind of back into your listing. Sometimes you can find a listing that way, even if it doesn't come up under your business name. Now, what if you still don't see your listing? Well, your next step, try your business phone number or any phone numbers. The other thing that you can do is search. If you know that your business name has changed, there are different variations of your name, then search on the old name, search on a synonym. If I was doing Horizon Web Marketing, I might do a search on Horizon Digital Marketing, or I might do a search on Horizon Web Marketing MKTNG, like an abbreviation. You also can search on possible DBAs. For example, for the Search Engine Academy, the actual corporate name is Search Pros International, but then the DBA is Search Engine Academy, and that's typically how it's showing up. Also search then on legal names that maybe aren't DBAs. using the Search Engine Academy as an example, if I searched on Search Engine Academy, couldn't find it, I'd try Search Pros International. A lot of different choices. You have to be kind of a detective. So when or if you finally see your listing, then it's time to claim that listing. Now notice down here, it says claim this business. Now if that shows up, typically that means no one has claimed this listing. And I say maybe here because Google can be pretty schizophrenic about this. Sometimes they'll show claim this business on businesses that have already been claimed. However, this is a good indicator that you can claim the listing. And if you don't see this, then you really have no path to try to claim the listing. And that would be what it would look like here. And actually, I had to phony up that last screen capture because Horizon Web Marketing is, of course, claimed. And this is what our listing would normally look like. You'll see that it's got suggest and edit. As a searcher, you can suggest some sort of edit to a business, and then the business owner typically will have an opportunity to approve that or not. But there is no claim this business listing. Finally, in some cases, you will see something that says manage this listing. For example, this case. And again, I faked this because Horizon Web Marketing doesn't actually show this, but for some listings you'll see manage this listing. Now if you see that often appears for chain stores and for franchise businesses. And when it does, then it allows you to go through a process to request access to the listing from the owner of the listing so that you can actually manage it, which is typically what you want to do if you have a franchise business. Here's some variations on this theme of how this might appear. Recently, Google has started adding a check mark to the listing, and that seems to indicate that the listing has definitely been claimed. So you see down here where it says extreme exposures, and you'll see this little blue shield over the icon, and that says that that's a verified listing. As of the summer of 2020, it doesn't always show up. I've done searches on numerous businesses. Sometimes you'll see it verified. Sometimes you won't see it verified. But you notice up here, it doesn't say claim this business, but it does say own this business. Question mark asking you that question. In some, and by the way, this little blue thing, the only place you're going to see this is if you can get the business to show up in the knowledge panel. Now with regard, going back to this own this business, sometimes that's Google just teasing. So right here it shows up for Horizon Web Marketing. It seems to indicate that the listing can be claimed. And sometimes it can. When you click on Own This Business, it'll allow you to do it. But notice in this particular case, Horizon, we've of course claimed our business listing, and it'll then say, hey, the listing has already been claimed. It says it's been verified, and then it'll give you a partial on the email address to kind of give you a hint as to who has done it. Google will give you an opportunity to try to recover the listing if you think it belongs to you and you don't recognize that email address. In this case, this is a business where it says own this business, just like it did for Horizon Web Marketing. This is within the Maps view. And in this case, we can verify by going and doing a search on the business name itself. We can find that, notice here in the Knowledge panel, it does not have the little blue checkbox. It doesn't say own this business, but it does say claim this business. So if you see that within the Knowledge panel, then that gives you an idea that finally you have an opportunity to start claiming a business listing. In this case, I just picked out a business basically that had not been verified that's here in Western Colorado. And it'll give you this particular dialog. Manage this business to reply to reviews, update info, and more. So this is the process, and like I say, you have to put on your detective cap a little bit, but those are a variety of different ways and tips for finding your listing and then beginning the process of claiming it. Now, before we go through the claiming process a little bit further, I'm going to talk to those of you who have businesses that are brand new, where no matter what you do, you see that Google does not have any record of your business in their database, and that's going to be our next module.